When will Drew Sanders be back for the Denver Broncos from his torn Achilles? With Alex Singleton now out for the season with a torn ACL, I've seen some people in Broncos country wonder about Drew Sanders when he might return from his injury. Sean Payton said that the injury occurred in April prior to the draft during OTAs. He kind of jumped up and the Achilles just went like it typically does. And he said when the injury occurred that October would be the closest timeline for Drew Sanders to return. Well, here we are at the beginning of October, and we still haven't heard a peep from the Denver Broncos about a potential return for Drew Sanders. I think the fact that the Broncos signed a couple of veteran linebackers in Quan Alexander and Zach Cunningham, that leads me to believe that Drew Sanders could be a ways away. But also, Drew Sanders really struggled at the off-ball linebacker position. He also struggled at edge rusher, but I think he was slightly better on the edge than he was at off-ball. I believe the Broncos view Drew Sanders as more of a long-term edge rusher than a long-term inside off-ball linebacker. And it's because of this, I don't think the Broncos are going to be in a big hurry to rush Drew Sanders back. If the Broncos were desperate for some depth on the edge rush unit, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and activate Drew Sanders. But the Broncos have really good depth there with guys like Nick Bonito, who has basically stepped into a starting role now, with Baron Browning now out. They've also got Jonah Ellis, Dondre Tillman, some really good depth pieces there. So I don't think they're in a real hurry to bring Drew Sanders back into the mix to the edge rush unit. And again, I just don't think they view him as a long-term option at off-ball linebacker. They saw enough last year to know that it's probably not going to work for him at that position at the NFL level. He just wasn't reading the field well. He was really struggling to see gaps to shoot. He struggled covering in range, stuff like that. I just don't think that his game's going to translate to off-ball linebacker at the NFL level. So, Drew Sanders, they're probably not going to hurry him back. We might see him at some point in October, but otherwise, maybe closer to November, maybe even December. We'll see what happens because we're just now at about the 6-month time period. I'm not exactly sure when in April Drew Sanders suffered this injury. All we know is that it was sometime before the draft. So we're getting close to that 6-month timeline. Perhaps he had the same speed bridge procedure that Aaron Rodgers had, and Rodgers is looking good athletically from his torn Achilles. So the hope is that Drew Sanders will be able to bounce back, and it should hopefully be sooner rather than later. The question is, will it be at off-ball linebacker or will it be at edge rusher? It's probably going to be at edge rusher if I had to bet on it. All right, Broncos country, what do you expect from Drew Sanders when he does get back from his torn Achilles? Do you think he's going to make an impact on this defense? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it, guys. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out and helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. And until next time, guys, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.